I'm torn with feeling encouraged and wishing, like regretting what we didn't do in the past.
So sorry, honey.
I scratched my leg right here. Look, put your glasses on.
You got coffee?
Yeah. It's from last night. From yesterday, I mean. Coffee?
I tried 4 filters and all 4 filters broke, and so I do not have coffee.
Mom, when you drop us off at Miss Mimi for hot chocolate.
No, you are not having hot chocolate when Mommy walks out the door from Mimi's house. Does Mimi give you chocolate?
She gives her hot chocolate. She waters it down.
I don't care if it's watered down.
You're so pretty, Mom.
All right, we're here.
Oh, get me out. Yay. There's no door, Mom.
Did they get any cuter?
No.
No? Mom, you're not letting us in.
They're not letting us in? Maybe they don't hear you. Can you be louder? You can't hear them. Not really loud. Or Daddy get a key.
Mimi!
Are you filming me so that you can get my reaction to when I get my sensitives touched
No.
by another man?
I'm filming you because I know that you're beyond excited for this morning.
It's this and Disneyland, and I think like Disneyland's maybe ahead by like just a hair.
I'm so sorry.
It's my favorite part of this whole thing.
I'm breaking out again. In hives. Look at my knees. But they're not, it's not raised.
What the heck did you put on yourself?
Look it. Oh my stars. Okay, so the other night I had the same like allergic breakout. So it's not like hives where it's raised, but all of a sudden I get itchy. This one just itched. The other night it's like my head gets tingly and then I get hot and then I itch and then like I break out everywhere. I don't know what's going on. I haven't eaten anything out of the normal. So I tried Bare Minerals on my face this morning just to play around with old makeup that I had. And like it started on my neck.
Bare Minerals?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's just a different makeup brand. Oh my stars. I don't know. It can't be an allergy because it happened a couple days ago.
How come some people are sensitive like you and some people are not?
Well,
by the way, my glasses are broken, and so I'm
you can wear
going to be
mine.
styling like you today.
I was told that your body stops giving you like a response. So if you keep eating garbage food and your body originally told you, I don't like it, it's giving me a stomach ache, I don't like it, and you don't listen to it, your body just kind of stops sending that signal. So that's why when people like clean up their eating and all of a sudden their stomach hurts when they eat bread or dairy, it's because all of a sudden their body cleaned up again and then they said, oh, you're gonna listen to me, and then it'll have a response. But I'm sensitive. I don't know why I'm breaking out in hives. I don't know what's wrong. Is it stress? I'm not stressed.
Sleeplessness.
Sleeplessness, for sure. Well, that was interesting. We went to the office and it was an empty parking lot, like not a soul. And then there was a big, huge banner that said, office fire, call this number. I'm like, what? Found out that they have multiple locations, so we are just 5 minutes late, which is actually really good for us for going to 2 offices. But when you Google an office and only one office comes up and it's the top one, only one, you would think that that would be the office. But no, that is not the answer. That is not the truth. Anyways, going in, Philip's very excited. So you're just gonna talk to me this morning because Philip's so excited that his joy just might overtake you. I'm sorry. I've gotten poked and prodded a lot though, so use it one day. Well, we just finished talking to the doctor and I'm torn with feeling encouraged and wishing, like regretting what we didn't do in the past, but also not regretting because we love our life. So he said we never did a second ultrasound to double check to see if Philip had varicoceles, which are veins, because I guess the ultrasound we had done like wasn't good enough. And so he said it works in about 50% of the cases. So even if you do the surgery, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to improve your sperm. And then he said we can move forward with IVF. He said there's no reason to stop. He said he does, however, want to send out for DNA fragmentation. It's a semen analysis test that checks to see if the DNA is fragmented, and that can be an issue with IVF. Or they don't know a ton, but they're saying if you've had failed and there's fragmented, then they try to avoid the fragmented to do the IVF. But he said our lab, because he said our lab's awesome, that they have this new technology and it's this assay. I think that's like a solution. I don't know. It's something that you put it through and it like pretty much filters out the ones that have fragmented DNA. It works well. So then that's something we didn't have a couple years ago. If this is a new technology, they didn't have that a few years ago.
Right. The biggest question is, why is my count going up? Which we think we know that it's the supplements that I've been taking for months and the eating that we've been doing, aside from some chocolates that I had a few months ago.
We like our cheat days, but we're going to try not to do them.
Which I've been having a really hard time with the diet lately. It's not that I'm not doing it, it's that I don't want to do it, and I have such a strong will towards eating what tastes good and having like the simple pleasures instead of having the long-term gain. I've been really struggling with that the last few weeks. My count is going up, yet the motility isn't. And
he says they go hand in hand. He says they should stay together. It's, you know, if the count goes up, the motility is going to go up. And he says, well, the supplements you're on, you know, it's increasing. Hi. So we talked about the DNA fragmentation part, and then they want us to do an ultrasound to just check on the varicoceles, because if it's negative and he doesn't have them, then there's nothing you can do anyways. So it kind of gives you that peace of mind versus like 5 years from now. Like 5 years ago, we could have done the varicocele surgery if it would have been positive. And then
and I mean we're at the same spot where to spend a couple $100s now, we'd have a result, and we didn't do it 7 years ago because we were like, oh, we don't want to spend a couple extra $100. Well, now we've spent thousands of dollars on fertility treatments and stuff like that, and adoptions, and just kind of growing our family has cost, you know. Kind of going back then, like we were super frugal then. Like we're frugal now, but not as much as we used to be.
But
that's because like it was a necessity. Like we had nothing back then, and so we were like, oh my gosh,
we saved up, and that's
like $250 for that test back then was like so much money to us. And now, you know, that same amount of money to do a test today, we're just like, let's just bite the bullet. We just need to do this. Like we're here, we're gonna get an answer. If I had known what I know now, I think obviously we would have made different decisions back then, right?
Sure. Well, and I think you were under the impression back then, because that's how it was relayed to me, was that the doctor said there's nothing you can do.
Totally.
And hearing him today, it doesn't sound like that was actually maybe what he said, but just more of what Philip interpreted. Probably because he was so low, feeling like there is no hope. That was a really rock bottom place for us. But I'm actually thankful that you misinterpreted that, because we wouldn't have our girls if you didn't misinterpret that, and we started conceiving naturally, whatever. I wouldn't change it for the world.
I wouldn't either.
And so it's really easy to look at your life and say, what if? But you wouldn't be at the point you are. Even if it was a bad situation, looking back, like it grew you, it got you to the point, it changed you, it made you who you are today because of it. And yeah, there's certain things like we actually wish that wouldn't happen in our past, anybody, but this one, I'm not upset. I'm just thinking
it really feels
forward.
Like, it really feels like God can use the mistakes that you make and turn them into victories, because I made a mistake back then of not understanding or relaying or pursuing the varicocele surgery or whatever it was. And it really ultimately got us to the point of going, okay, our hearts are ready for adoption, and that's what allowed us to get to our family today. And yeah, I'm totally with you that I wouldn't change a thing. And sometimes those mistakes in my life and those mistakes in your life actually did lead you down a different path. And sometimes it's a harder, like this whole journey of infertility has been really like life-changing for us. People grow through pain. You can be changed by it for the good and not just for the bad. You have to have that community around you to push you along and say, we're gonna get through this together. And I think that's why our marriage has been blessed through this whole process, is because there's never been judgment one way or another, me towards her, her towards me. There's never been judgment of your body's wrong, you're wrong. Like, we never have blamed each other once. Like, I really don't think we ever have, because we're one unit. We're one marriage. We're one complete entity.
We're not working. It has nothing to do with you or me. It's just as a whole, we're just not working, and so we're going to get through it together.
Yeah. So originally, when it was my issues, it was us, and when it became her endometriosis, it was us. And now it's back to, okay, well, how can we fix me? Which with the eating and with the supplements, like, it's actually been improving quite a bit. So hopefully this next IVF cycle will be good, because my stuff has been increasing. We're just trying to kind of find that solidified answer for why, and can we do something ongoing even past IVF, long term, for natural treatment or natural pregnancy.
So on to the ultrasound.
Yep. Probably not going to show you that.
Probably not. 100% not.
Probably not.
They watch my ultrasounds.
Well, then put a big sheet over me then.
Well, of course you would have a sheet over you.
Well, not the last
Weirdo. I'll just do your head. That's what we do in my ultrasound. We just do this. Zoom it in.
There's women that do this, okay? There's not men that do this.
There are. They just don't talk about it.
No, there's men that don't film it.
I'll turn it off.
Just